What's going on? Boys, today we are talking a bit about expecting the worst and not hesitating. We're going to go through two examples, but what does expecting the worst always accomplish? If you know without knowing the worst is going to happen, then when it happens, you won't be taken aback. You won't be surprised. You won't hesitate. And nobody will have you. The first example is a shitty relationship. And I use this one because this is a strategy stupid young Skimmerlit managed to figure out without a happy yay claps dating coach. This was 19 or 20 Skimmerlit. When you're dating someone and they're unhappy with you and they have an opportunity to cheat on you, they will cheat on you. And then they'll wait for an opportune moment to get you with it. So you are dating this girl who is starting to get a lot of attention from a dude who is not challenging her on anything. And in arguments, she starts bringing up how this guy agrees with her, so you should too, but clearly you're a piece of shit because you don't. I, w- I wonder what I wonder what's happening here. There's no way you could be doing some unchristianly shit, some downright unholy shit. You're going to spring on me later. One of the best things Patrice said that I think holds in other areas. Women's power is in your fear of whatever they're going to do. So, in that relationship, for the first time, I decided I was going to expect, and rather, probably a better word, accept the worst. That's a better word, accept. I don't know she's fucking this dude, but I just know she's fucking this dude. And I'm going to continue living my life regardless. Now, this method helped me get ready. Even if I didn't know that was what I was doing, and even if my unconscious got a little excited and went a little too far with it, I don't know, but I know, and I'm fine. And as planned, as expected, she hits me with an, well, he took my virginity and left it all over the bed. And don't get me wrong, in moments like these, that kind of thing still hurts. Seeing how vile and hypocritical someone is willing to be toward you. But it doesn't hurt in a visceral, crippling way. It doesn't strike you. It's like watching a dog on a chain trying to bite you. You can see it, you can recognize it's vicious, you can feel the wafts from it, but it's not sinking its teeth in you. It can't reach you. So my first surprise in that instance was not that I was cheated on. It was that it didn't affect me when it really should have. My answer was, did he spank you with his Bible? Did you have a hard time bearing that cross? Did you spit or swallow the blood of Christ? I knew you were fucking him. I'm more insulted by the fact you think I wouldn't notice. The second surprise, immediately hitting back, something that I was not good at back then. You call yourself a Christian, you break your promise to hurt me. If you actually have faith, you're doing more damage to yourself here. Third surprise, she immediately tried to walk everything back and started apologizing. Well, he didn't fuck me, he just fingered me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And when all was said and done, the ultimate surprise was this actually worked. I trusted my instincts, I made internal preparations, and they paid off. So I'm not in my late 20s crying to a money grubbing, happy clapping dating coach, and still emotionally unable to deal with it. Every single relationship I've been in since that one has operated under the assumption I am being cheated on. If you feel you should have possession of your partner's sexuality and think you can, as Patrice would say, you are in ego and you are setting yourself up for devastation. Your ego is allowing someone to grow power over you you don't even realize you're giving to them. This isn't even strictly a man versus woman thing. People, the world, our reality, all feed on fear. If you let them control you through fear, your fear of what they may or may not do, they will control you, and then at the end they're going to devastate you. Because they aren't fair. They want to hurt you. If you expect and then accept the worst, you can sleep again, and you can start acting instead of cowering and hoping and fearing. And then, believe it or not, once you start acting after you've accepted the absolute worst, you'll be surprised there are moments things are not the worst, or the worst, the absolute worst, does not happen, which is in the second example we're getting to. So Slim is out of town, and I am 100% at the helm. Of course, the day after Slim leaves, someone starts causing problems. This older woman we're associated with ignores the chain of command, starts trying to do some things that are not necessarily bad, but haven't been approved, ignoring the proper channels, and then trying to bully this younger woman she has no authority over to get this stuff done before anyone finds out. Even though, of course, we were going to find out, you can't do any of these things without our finding out. It's a quick, dirty, nasty little flare up, I'm assuming because the eagle isn't in his nest. And we're going to have a little meeting. I am assuming, again, this meeting is going to be a team strategy meeting about what's going on, put together a game plan. Ultimately, I'm going to have to be the one to carry it through, but that's fine. I don't mind. But no, that isn't what happens. It's ignored, pretending like this isn't happening. We're all aware this is happening, but you're going to pretend like it isn't. And a few things happened at that moment. One, I realized what Slim was talking about in the if I go, nobody else is going to hold this together sense. I realized they're probably going to try to ignore this because she can't really do anything without our approval, but if we do nothing, she's going to keep pecking and tormenting this younger woman, and they're probably too afraid to do anything because she's old, wealthy, Jewish, and married to a guy who has threatened people before. In this moment, I was hit with the grand soul of accept the worst and don't hesitate. You guys are ignoring the elephant in the room This is unprofessional, unacceptable behavior, and I'm going to stop it right now. And I had been expecting them to resist. I had accepted their resistance, but they didn't. None of them resisted. Before we go any further, controversial opinion, I like Jews. Kabbalah, or however you pronounce it, is interesting. I like it. On with the show. So I called her, explained to her that she knows how we operate, that she knows she's ignoring the way things are supposed to work, she's being nasty, and until she comes to me politely, the things she wants are not going to get done. You go through the proper channels with the proper decorum, or you get put in timeout, which is pathetic. You're more than twice my age, and it's like you've lived your entire life having learned nothing. Now, I didn't put that last part in there, but it was not comfortable. She, of course, didn't ask me, and she wasn't polite. Which means she's going to cry to her fat, pussy husband for being told no. And that's going to be my problem. If it becomes a problem. It might not. I know her husband carries, and I know he's threatened people before. Not waving his gun around, but wearing a gun and threatening to hurt people. He's known for that. That's happened with a few people a few times. That goes to show the level of security fat pussies feel when they're wealthy. They think they're untouchable. And people wonder why I pack a gun and keep my knife on my desk. Well, my 45 is about as concealed as the sun. It's a concealed carry permit. It's not a carry permit, which I am learning. So, concealed. But for a while, I was keeping my knife on my desk, and I am now keeping my knife on my desk. But there was a period I was keeping it away because of peer pressure, but I had a nightmare. I don't know why we were in an amusement park. I don't know why I was in a group in an omnigendered restroom. But there was one exit. There was a man standing in front of the exit. He was armed and ranting at us, getting ready to shoot us. And I didn't have my gun on me, and I didn't have my knife on me. And all I could think was, fuck, you fucking idiot. Why would you leave your knife? This dude is getting ready, his monologue is almost over, and nobody's doing anything. It's gonna have to be you. It's going to have to be you, and you're unarmed because you're a fucking idiot. Stupid. I'm not enough of a sociopath to carry my 45 cocked and locked, but I should be. Because closing distance isn't a joke. It takes a split second for someone to be on you, or for someone with their gun already drawn to get you. I keep my knife exposed, so if I need it right now, I can grab something without having to fumble with it, with a pistol. And again, people look at me funny, but the reason I am strapped is because of people like these. These are the sorts of people who commit random violence. A dude's woman mouths off because he can't keep her in line and has never been able to keep her in line, so she starts fights that he has to finish, but now, at this age, because he's old, wealthy, and a pussy, can't handle in any reasonable way that upholds what little pride and dignity this fat pussy has left, which is why he walks around threatening people. You are exerting the force you'd like to be exerting on your wife on other people. Other people have to pay for your weakness. And I think that's one of the reasons my co-people didn't want to say anything or do anything. They just wanted to let this happen. Well, not with me around. I see what could happen, and I don't give a shit. You're armed? I'm armed. And I'm not armed with a little pussy 9. You can get shot 3 times and still walk. I carry 45 Super in a full-sized USP Elite. 45 Super is beautiful as a self-defense cartridge because it's wider than 10mm, it travels as fast as 10mm, and unlike 10mm, 45 Super is inclined to dump, not to penetrate. Meaning, you are taking a wide diameter bullet, moving very quickly, and forcing it to dump all that force velocity in your chest cavity. It takes 1, I have 12. You might come in here and hurt people. You might come in here and kill me. But if you come in here with ill intentions, you are swimming with sharks, and your temper tantrum might not go the way you think it will. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. But I can see exactly how and why it would right now. Right now I see it. But I'm not going to let your cunty old wife break the rules and bully people because you think you can throw your weight around. But if someone weren't to expect and accept the worst, they would probably be inclined to hesitate if they do anything at all. And they probably wouldn't do anything at all. If I weren't there, nothing would have been done. And you take enough of those microcosm moments and spread them out, and that's how you get the world we're in right now. The biggest surprise to me was the woman who was getting shit on thanked me for saying something. I was not expecting that. For some reason, when you enter conflict with somebody, even if it is to get someone else out of a bad spot, most people you're helping will turn on you. I don't know why that's the case, but that is what I was expecting to happen. That's what I had accepted was probably going to happen. I did it anyway, and it didn't happen. Weird situation, weird, bad mood, ominous mood, because Slim was right. Slim was right. When he's not there, it's me or it's nobody. He was absolutely right. But 2 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I think this has something to do with that moment I felt like I was dying from stress. Things have felt hazy and not real since that moment. If that's what dying actually feels like, then I would like to die once I'm able. And partially for that reason, I feel more equipped not to hope. To expect the worst, to accept the worst, and then to act, for better or for worse, without hesitating, for fear of what the world is going to do in response. I am sure I am going to be made to eat shit at some point, and I still have flashes of intense doubt, but I will say I am coming into a level of strength I didn't know I had. That was the other thing I was going to talk about. I watched Gangs of New York once in my freshman year of college, and I didn't get it, and I didn't like it. But the other day, I was recommended a clip from Gangs of New York in which Bill the Butcher makes a comment after Amsterdam snaps at him. Oh, you got a murderous rage in you, I like it. That's life bubbling up. You are made to feel your anger and conflict is something wrong. And you're made to feel that way because it's threatening to power structures. If someone realizes they have enough aggression and strength to do something, then that power structure, that capital, is threatened. That's why you're told never to be angry. That's why you're told to seek peaceful solutions always, even when it is overwhelmingly evident peace equates to rolling over and taking it. One of the best lines I've read recently: their best trick is and always will be false hope. They trick you into hoping things are going to get better without your having to fight for it. They trick you into thinking your aggression is wrong, that you just need to have a more positive outlook. An outlook that will, of course, threaten nobody, especially not the people who are harming you or the people close to you. Most often, the people who don't deserve it. You might think seeing the worst in people and treating that like it's reality makes you a bad person. Maybe it does. Maybe you're right. But it keeps you from being punked. It keeps you from putting yourself in the cave. If you refuse to see the worst in people and do something about it, then that is the exact shit that is going to fuck you over one day, and you will be totally unprepared. And if that were just you, if you were just the one getting fucked, that would be fine. But there are instances other people get fucked because you won't do anything. I'm not going to drag this out any longer, but I want to reiterate. Work out the worst thing that could happen. Expect it, accept it, and then take action anyway. Whether that is helping somebody because you know that's what you need to do, even though they're going to fuck you over for helping them, or getting into a conflict that stands to get really ugly because that's what you need to do. Because maybe you feel some sort of responsibility. I haven't worked out what it is or why it is, but now that I'm becoming more capable, or becoming aware that I am capable, going back to doing nothing at all, I don't think I could do it. Walk around just knowing the world is against you, and figure out how to do things anyway. You will figure out how to do things, and the few moments the world is not completely against you, you'll enjoy them. I was very... I breathed fresh, minty relief when the younger woman was not angry at me for saying something. She was thankful. That was so completely unexpected. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Part of my family is sick, and I think that's one of the reasons I'm a little on edge. Weird, bad day. But I feel equipped for it. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What what sort of, I don't know, worst do you expect? I don't know what to ask in these moments. But thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we had a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun. In fact, you can load 12 magnificently engineered funds into it and not carry it cocked and locked because you aren't a psychopath, but you should be. And that's so much we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.